But if you wind up getting to high penetration levels, and they come on at random, and so on, you've got a different control issue that needs to be looked at. And it may or may not be serious, but it's not the same problem we've been dealing with. And so you've got that in addition to the party generating harmonics and so forth. And I agree with you that the new inverters have solved most of that problem. But anyway, those are a couple of technical issues that I think still deserve some attention.
Do you have any comments on the status of technology development in this area in the United States versus EU or Japan or China? I mean, I know that our offices in London and Shanghai have highly adaptive technologies in the offices. You know, there's modulated air conditioning and lighting and louvers on the buildings, and these seem quite forward-looking. Now, obviously, that's only a very small piece of the puzzle and may not indicate really what's going on in the broader electrical utility market. Any comments on the international market for smart grid?
I would just, my observations, which are quite limited, is that there's more work going on elsewhere than there is in the U.S. on a lot of this. And my colleague is just back from Shanghai and pointed out that the amount of money they're putting into the universities there to look at, say, just the electric automobile, exceeds anything that we know about here. Just big, wind tunnels for testing, electric drives, looking at a fleet of fuel cell driven vehicles to take a look at and say what the real operational characteristics are and so forth. The scale of which some of that's going on in China exceeds that. Certainly look at what's happening. Who are the big investors in Colorado? Wind energy, Vestas, who's putting in the solar plants and so forth, and German and Spanish companies. So yeah, there's a lot of activity outside the U.S. and in some cases clearly ahead of what we're doing.
I'd also like to add to that the approach being taken in Europe is a little bit more robust in that some of the more rickety technologies that are attractive in the United States, like low bandwidth RF mesh for AMI, for example, are not popular in Europe. They're using higher bandwidth, more expensive, but more survivable technologies to solve the same problem. Excuse me.
My observation, and this is opinion really, so it's really an opinion not based on any kind of technical reality, but is that the other parts of the world take a look at this and they dedicate more of a longer time horizon to their investment, and they're willing to pay a little bit more. I don't think they have better technology per se, but they're willing to pay a little bit more, and they're in it for a longer term. So this whole smart grid thing, I know a lot of the players around where this money's coming and where it's going, it's kind of like it's kind of all over the map. They're just putting stuff here, there, and everywhere. And it's because we're such a huge, complicated, with 50 states, it's not easy to be uniform. A country like Germany can just decide, we have a solar policy that says we're going to be kind of 100% renewable, and they can do that across the board. So they have an unfair playing advantage when you look at smaller countries who are doing this, because they can make a uniform policy like the state of California would say we're going to, they have the lowest per capita energy consumption in the country. They've done a great job there, but the rest of the United States has not followed through. So my observation is that they don't have better technology. They're willing to spend more on their technology.
Could I just add a quick comment, Greg? So
sure.
I was in France last week with a couple of Enron folks in one of our smart grid companies, and to your point, somebody mentioned 18 million smart meters. They're rolling out 30.
Also concentrated solar in the Southwest becoming increasingly water intensive. So I'm wondering, how do you envision this technology to help manage water resources in the future to help bring on large scale renewable projects?
I don't know, but the answer is that water is going to be another major problem. It's been a problem in the U.S. and the Southwest for a long time, but it's going to get worse, and it's going to be a worldwide problem. And we're talking about energy today. We may very well be talking about water shortly, and some other talks I've heard, it's not going to be just water. If we look at the population growth that's projected over the world to bring the rest of the world up to something anywhere close to our standard of living, the resource problem is not going to be just water and energy. It's a whole bunch of other things you can think of that if we start to look at, say, doubling or tripling the world's population today and talk about bringing them to our standard of living, and the question of where the resources are coming from is not one that I know anybody knows an answer to.
I would agree. In the conversations that we have relative to climate, energy, and sustainability, I mean, we examine clean water options around the globe as being equal to or more important